Welcome to the Deep Dive, the show where we distill complex topics into clear, actionable insights.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're diving deep into a subject that's, well, it's not just a buzzword anymore, is it? It's really a transformative force actively reshaping our future, artificial intelligence in healthcare.
Absolutely. And we've gathered a pretty compelling stack of sources for you, everything from recent patent filings, some groundbreaking news announcements, to really comprehensive reviews on how AI is genuinely changing medicine.
Yeah, a lot to get through.
There is.
Yeah.
Our goal for this deep dive is really to cut through the noise, cut through the hype, and explore the actual real-world breakthroughs.
Okay.
We want to uncover some of the surprising facts, maybe, and dive into the practical implications of AI across diagnostics, treatment, and, even your everyday patient care.
Right. So what's working now? What problems is it solving?
Exactly. And crucially, what are the challenges we still need to navigate? We need to make sure this technology serves everyone, fairly and effectively.
Okay, get ready to be incredibly well-informed about where healthcare AI is really heading. That's the plan.
That's the plan.
So to start us off then, when we talk about AI in healthcare, what are we actually defining it as? I mean, is it the sci-fi image of robots performing surgery, or is it something, well, more nuanced, more integrated?
That's a great place to start, and it's definitely more nuanced. In this context, AI really refers to computer systems capable of performing tasks that, traditionally required human intellect.
Okay.
But it's absolutely vital to grasp its core role here.
Yeah.
It's fundamentally a transformative augmentation for healthcare professionals.
Yeah.
It's not about wholesale replacement.
Right. Augmentation, not replacement. That's key.
It is. The aim isn't to swap out your trusted doctor for a machine, but rather to equip them with incredibly powerful tools that significantly enhance their existing capabilities. Think of it like giving them a new set of superpowers.
Okay, I like that analogy. So it's about making doctors more effective, not making them obsolete. That definitely changes the perception. What are these systems ultimately trying to achieve, then, in the big picture of healthcare?
Precisely. The overarching goals are pretty clear. Dramatically improve patient outcomes, optimize the entire healthcare delivery system, make it more efficient, and ultimately raise the overall standard of care for everyone.
Makes sense.
AI is, a really flexible tool set, as you'll see as we go through this. It's designed to address various facets of the healthcare environment, from the very moment you first interact with the system, right through your diagnosis and deep into your treatment and follow-up care.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit further then.
Why?
What are the core building blocks, the different types of AI that we're seeing integrated into medicine today? Because I hear terms like machine learning and deep learning thrown around constantly. What's the practical difference, and how are they actually being used?
Yeah, those two are absolutely central to almost everything we'll discuss today. So machine learning, or ML, is really foundational. It works by processing just vast amounts of clinical data, huge data sets to identify patterns and predict outcomes, often with, frankly, remarkable accuracy.
So it finds patterns humans might miss.
Exactly. Imagine it sifting through millions of patient records,
Yeah.
analyzing complex medical imaging, or even helping to accelerate the discovery of new therapies. A prime application we're seeing is in precision medicine.
Right. Tailoring treatment.
Precisely. Where ML predicts the most effective treatments based on patient-specific data, your unique biological profile, your genetics, your lifestyle, truly tailoring care to the individual.
So it's like a superpowered detective for medical data, finding those hidden connections. And deep learning, DL, how does that fit in? Is it just like a more advanced version of ML, or is it doing something fundamentally different?
It's definitely an evolution of ML, yeah, but it dives a layer deeper, as the name suggests. Deep learning uses these advanced neural networks. They're designed to mimic the structure and function of the human brain.
Okay, like a digital brain almost.
Sort of. And this architecture makes DL particularly powerful at interpreting complex, often unstructured data. It really shines in areas like medical imaging, big MRIs, CT scans, PET scans.
Oh, okay.
It can identify really subtle abnormalities with what our sources are describing as unprecedented precision. For instance, deep learning algorithms are proving invaluable in detecting the very early signs of Alzheimer's disease by analyzing tiny changes in brain scans.
Oh, wow.
Things that might be easily missed by the human eye alone, especially in those very early stages.
That's incredible, spotting the unseen with that kind of accuracy. What about the language side of things? Healthcare generates so much text notes, reports, patient communication. How does AI handle all of that?
Right, that's where natural language processing, or NLP, comes into play. This gives AI the ability to interpret, understand, and even generate human language.
So it can read and write, essentially.
In a way, yes. It's revolutionizing how we handle unstructured text data. Think about the mountains of electronic health records, vast libraries of research articles, or even just a physician's transcribed notes from a visit. NLP transforms this raw text into actionable insights. It can streamline clinical processes, provide personalized services, maybe drafting medical reports automatically or powering sophisticated chatbots for patient questions.
So it makes sense of all that written data. What about some of the maybe older types of AI? Are they still relevant in today's world with all this advanced stuff?
Absolutely. We still definitely encounter rule-based expert systems. These were, the dominant AI tech back in the 80s.
Right, the if-then kind of
Yeah,
logic.
exactly. They operate on straightforward if-then rules to provide clinical decision support. You'll often find them still embedded within modern electronic health record or EHR systems. They might guide workflows or alert clinicians to certain things. They're effective for well-defined tasks. But their limitation is that as the complexity and the sheer number of rules grow, they can become quite cumbersome and, frankly, challenging to manage and update.
Makes sense. And beyond text and numbers, AI can also interpret what it sees, right? You mentioned medical images, but what about, say, microscopic samples?
Exactly, that falls under computer vision. This branch of AI empowers systems to interpret and make sense of visual data.
Okay.
It's becoming incredibly valuable in fields like pathology. You have AI algorithms meticulously analyzing biopsy samples, looking for those tiny cellular anomalies that indicate cancer.
Wow.
Or in dermatology, computer vision tools can analyze high-resolution images of skin to identify conditions like melanoma, picking up on incredibly minute details that might escape even a highly trained human eye.
That's amazing precision. And what about the newer, really cutting-edge areas like generative AI and this concept of agentic AI? They seem to be making waves everywhere, not just healthcare.
They are. And they're definitely impacting healthcare, too. Generative AI is proving to be a powerful tool for automating clinical documentation, generating detailed medical reports, enhancing patient communication through intelligent chatbots and personalized summaries.
Right, like writing summaries for patients.
Exactly. And what's particularly fascinating is its ability to adapt to the preferred reporting styles of individual clinicians, making the output feel much more tailored and seamless, less robotic.
And agentic AI, that sounds a bit more autonomous.
It is. Agentic AI refers to systems that can autonomously manage more intricate tasks. Think medical coding, certain diagnostic steps, even aspects of treatment planning. They can support real-time clinical decisions.
So they can take action to a degree?
To a degree, yes, within defined parameters. These agents can operate across various healthcare settings, from maybe emergency response triage to preventive care reminders, really helping improve decision-making efficiency and reducing that administrative workload we keep talking about.
Okay, so when we put all these pieces together, ML, DL, NLP, computer vision, generative agentic AI, what does this actually mean for you, our listener, when you interact with the healthcare system?
Well, fundamentally, it means healthcare is becoming smarter, faster, and more efficient. From the very first moment you might interact with a healthcare system, maybe scheduling online, all the way through to your diagnosis and the treatment you receive. AI is working, often behind the scenes, to streamline, personalize, and improve your entire care journey.
And this isn't science fiction. This is happening now.
This isn't theoretical. It's active development and deployment in hospitals and labs around the world right now.
And you mentioned this isn't entirely new either. If we trace the history back, AI concepts in healthcare actually emerged quite a while ago, right? Back in the 50s even.
That's right. The concepts were there. Early systems like Internist 1 in 1971 and MyCI in 1976 were real pioneers. They were designed to assist doctors with things like diagnosis ranking or recommending the right antibiotics. Then a bit later, in 2011, IBM launched a healthcare-specific version of its Watson AI system. That one notably focused on using natural language processing for oncology research and support.
But the real acceleration, the big shift, has been more recent in the last decade or so?
Oh, absolutely. You're right. The real acceleration has been in the last, say, 10 to 15 years. The 2000s saw significant breakthroughs, particularly with the rise of deep learning, which enabled much faster and more accurate data analysis than before.
Okay.
And this directly led to a rapid surge in regulatory approvals for AI-powered medical devices. By 2022, the FDA had authorized 91 such devices. things like EchoGo for heart failure detection. It shows a clear uptake of these tools into actual clinical practice.
And the market itself is just exploding, right? I've seen
Ah.
some absolutely astonishing numbers about the growth projections for AI in healthcare.
The growth is indeed astounding. It signals a massive influx of investment and innovation into this space. According to Statista, the AI healthcare market was valued at around $11 billion back in 2021. And it's projected to soar to incredible $187 billion by 2030.
Wow, that's huge growth.
It is. And other sources are even more optimistic. Some are projecting growth from about $11.2 billion in 2023 to potentially $427.5 billion by 2032. That's a compound annual growth rate, a CAGR of nearly 48%.
Almost 50% year-over-year growth.
Insane growth. This signifies monumental transformations coming across patient care for healthcare providers themselves and definitely within pharmaceutical and biotech companies globally.
That kind of money flowing in, that kind of growth, indicates a truly profound shift is underway. So, okay, let's transition then. We've laid the foundation. We understand the types of AI, the history, the market boom. Let's get into the really tangible, real-world innovations emerging right now. What are some of the most exciting breakthroughs we're seeing from recent patent filings and news?
Yeah, this is the heart of our deep dive today. And what's interesting is that many of these innovations are specifically solving really persistent problems in traditional diagnostics, things that are often slow, very labor-intensive, and sometimes prone to human error or just fatigue.
Right, reading scan after scan.
Exactly. These tools are aiming to make diagnosis faster, much more precise, and ultimately more accessible to more people.
Okay, let's start with AI in diagnostics then, particularly in medical imaging. I'm seeing some impressive advancements from big names like GE Healthcare and Siemens Healthineers that seem to be improving the very first steps of just processing the images.
Absolutely. GE Healthcare, for example, has developed an AI-powered scan formatting tool. It's called Spine Auto Views.
Okay, spine auto views.
Yeah. This innovation uses deep learning to automate the reformatting of spine CT scans into standardized, anatomically labeled views. Historically, radiology staff would have to spend valuable time manually reconstructing these slices, clicking through images.
Tedious work.
Very tedious. This AI system identifies vertebrae and discs with over 90% accuracy and generates these perfectly aligned images in just seconds.
Seconds, well,
Seconds. The impact is significant. It eliminates that manual reconstruction burden. It ensures consistent anatomical labeling across different patients, which is important, and it dramatically speeds up radiology workflows. It even received FDA 510(k) clearance in late 2023, so it's out there.
that sounds like a massive time saver for radiologists. Lets them focus on the critical interpretation, the diagnosis, rather than the formatting.
Priceless.
And what about ensuring the data itself is accurate? Making sure there aren't errors in patient info or labeling, which could obviously have really serious consequences.
Yeah, that's critical. And that's where Siemens Healthineers comes in with their DICOM autocorrection AI.
DICOM, that's the standard format for medical images, right?
Exactly. DICOM is the standard format for the images and all their associated patient data. This AI tool detects and actually corrects metadata errors in those DICOM files automatically.
Like what kind of errors?
Oh, it could be anything from mislabeled body parts, a chest scan labeled as an abdomen, to patient ID mismatches, which is really dangerous.
Yikes.
Its impact is profound because it ensures accurate imaging workflows downstream. It prevents patient safety risks that arise from these data inconsistencies. It essentially acts as a crucial gatekeeper, automating manual verification steps and significantly reducing the risks from misfiled scans or potential patient mix-ups.
Okay, so it's like an automated proofreader for the image files themselves, catching critical errors before they cause harm. That's vital. What about improving the actual clarity and interpretation of complex imaging during a procedure? That feels like another level of real-time precision.
Yeah, moving into the procedure itself, Mauna Kea Technologies has an innovative AI-powered CLE imaging system. CLE stands for confocal laser endomicroscopy.
Okay.
It provides real-time, microscopic views inside the body during procedures like endoscopies. This AI system enhances those image sequences in real time as the doctor is working.
How does it enhance them?
It sort of improves the cognitive interface between the clinician and the machine. It highlights key features, it filters out visual noise, and it can actually flag suspicious patterns like potential early cancerous cells.
Wow, in real time.
In real time. This directly solves the challenge of interpreting complex, often noisy imaging data on the fly. It improves the detection of subtle cancer signs and essentially acts as a real-time co-pilot for the clinicians, easing their cognitive burden during these intricate procedures.
That's like giving doctors microscopic X-ray vision, enhanced in real time. Incredible.
Okay, shifting to broader cancer detection. Paige has made a significant breakthrough recently with its pan-cancer detect. The name suggests it goes beyond just one type of cancer.
It does, and that's what's really significant about it. Paige's pan-cancer detect received FDA Breakthrough Device designation in April 2025. This is a first. An AI tool designed to help pathologists identify cancer across multiple tissues and organs.
Multiple types of cancer with one tool.
Yes, including both common and rarer cancers.
Hmm.
This is incredibly important because it could streamline pathology workflows significantly, flag critical cases for immediate attention, and really accelerate diagnosis, which is vital given the global shortages of pathologists we're facing.
Right. It builds on Paige's existing FDA-authorized tools, like their prostate detect, but really extends their reach much more broadly.
Okay, and speaking of prostate cancer, Ibex Medical Analytics also has a specific, highly accurate tool for that, right?
They do. Ibex Medical Analytics secured FDA 510(k) clearance back in February 2025 for their Ibex prostate detect.
Okay.
This AI tool specifically supports pathologists in identifying missed or subtle prostate cancers from scanned biopsy images. It flags suspicious areas with these clear visual heat maps on the digital slide.
And how accurate is it?
Well, in clinical studies, it demonstrated a remarkable 99.6% positive predictive value, and notably, it actually revealed a 13% rate of previously missed cancers in diagnoses that were initially called benign.
13% missed. Wow.
Cases that were later confirmed as cancer by expert pathologists.
Yeah.
So this drastically enhances diagnostic accuracy in a really critical area for men's health.
These diagnostic tools are becoming incredibly specific and accurate. It feels like they're really pushing the boundaries for earlier and more confident diagnoses. What about really time-sensitive conditions, things like heart attacks or sepsis, where minutes matter?
Yeah, speed is critical there. For acute cardiac events, Powerful Medical's PM Cardio STEMI AI ECG model is really interesting. It received FDA Breakthrough Device designation in March 2025.
Okay.
This innovation allows for the detection of STEMI heart attacks, that's a severe and very time-sensitive type, and their equivalents, with cardiologist-level precision. And it does this using just a smartphone and standard ECG input.
From a smartphone?
Yeah, it's critical for emergency settings, enabling faster, more accurate triage, especially maybe in rural areas or places where specialists aren't immediately available 24/7.
Huge potential impact there. And for sepsis, another time-critical diagnosis.
Right. Cytoveil's IntelliSept system, which was FDA cleared and has been gaining ground since January 2025, is designed to rapidly detect sepsis risk within minutes.
Minutes.
It works by analyzing immune system activation patterns in a blood sample using machine learning. This significantly reduces the diagnostic time compared to traditional methods often taking under 10 minutes.
Wow.
This accelerates sepsis triage dramatically, allowing for that crucial, life-saving early intervention that's so vital with sepsis.
The speed and accuracy improvements across all these different areas are truly astounding. And I heard there are even innovations aimed at making the development of these advanced diagnostic tools faster and more affordable. That seems like a meta-level improvement, improving the improvement process itself.
It does, yeah. Like AI helping AI.
Yep.
UC San Diego announced news in August 2025 about their AI tool for medical image segmentation.
Okay.
This innovation significantly reduces the number of expertly annotated images needed to train an AI for medical image segmentation by up to 20-fold.
How does it do that? Less data needed.
It works by generating synthetic but realistic image mask pairs to essentially augment the real training data and refine the learning process.
Oh.
This is particularly valuable because getting expertly labeled clinical data is scarce and incredibly expensive.
Right.
So this promises faster development of new diagnostic tools, makes them potentially more affordable, and could be especially beneficial in resource-limited healthcare environments. They've already shown 10–20% performance boosts in various imaging tasks using this method.
That's like building an AI that can teach other AIs more efficiently. It could really democratize access to these powerful diagnostic capabilities. Now, what about a truly non-invasive, maybe more holistic diagnostic approach? Is there anything where, say, a simple scan could tell you about your whole body's health?
It sounds futuristic, but MetaWhale's retinal AI, which was highlighted in July 2025 news, is moving in that direction.
Retinal AI from the eye.
Exactly. It analyzes images of the retina of the back of the eye to detect signs of heart disease, kidney disease, and obviously eye diseases too. The truly fascinating part is that it could potentially replace more invasive diagnostics, like certain blood tests or maybe even some CT scans for screening purposes.
That's incredible.
It provides potentially comprehensive full-body health insights from simple, quick eye scans, enabling much earlier detection of silent conditions before they become serious problems. And it's not just experimental, it's already being deployed in places like Dubai, Italy, and Malaysia, showing its global potential.
So your eyes literally become a window into your overall health. That's genuinely innovative. What else is making strides in cardiovascular diagnostics specifically? Heart disease is still a massive killer.
It is. Carista Diagnostics received FDA 510K clearance in March 2025 for their tool called CariPlaque.
CariPlaque. Oh,
But
okay.
this is an AI-assisted tool that analyzes coronary CT angiography scans, CCTA scans, which are detailed images of the heart's arteries. It detects and assesses coronary plaque buildup and artery narrowing. But crucially, it also identifies hidden inflammation within that plaque.
Hidden inflammation. Why is that important?
That type of inflammation is often what triggers sudden, unexpected heart attacks, even in plaque that doesn't look severely narrowed. So this offers a much more proactive approach to coronary artery disease. It enables earlier, more personalized intervention based on the type of plaque, not just the amount, potentially saving countless lives by identifying that hidden risk before a major event occurs.
Identifying the dangerous plaque, not just any plaque. That's a key distinction. And clearly, the investment pouring into these imaging and diagnostic AI solutions is incredibly robust. It really indicates high confidence in their future impact.
Oh, absolutely. The investment is huge. Quimum, for example, a company specializing in AI-powered radiology workflows and predictive imaging models like QP prostate and QP brain, they raised a $50 million Series A round, which was big news in January 2025.
Okay.
And they're already collaborating with giants like Microsoft for things like virtual biopsies based on imaging data, and Philips for enhancing MR prostate exams. It's rapidly expanding the reach of precision medicine through imaging.
And you mentioned trust and transparency earlier. That must be paramount, especially when AI is involved in a diagnosis. Is that being addressed directly?
It has to be. And yes, we're seeing tools specifically focused on that. Diagnostics.ai launched their transparent AI platform for PCR diagnostics in May 2025.
PCR, like the COVID tests.
Exactly. PCR is a common lab test used for detecting genetic material, often for infectious diseases, but other things too. Their platform uses machine learning for real-time PCR diagnostics, but its key differentiator is emphasizing complete clarity and traceability.
How so?
Clinicians using the platform can actually view how each diagnostic result was derived by the AI. They can see the factors it weighed. This significantly boosts confidence and accountability, moving away from the black box problem. It's optimized for high-volume labs and ensures compliance with strict regulatory standards because of its interpretability.
That explainability seems absolutely crucial for adoption. You know, what's truly insightful here, listening to all these examples, is how these different innovations from retinal scans predicting heart disease, to AI reading biopsies, to transparent PCR results, they're all converging. It feels like we're moving towards a future where diagnosis isn't just faster or more efficient.
Right. It's becoming proactive.
Exactly. Proactive and deeply personalized. We're shifting from just treating symptoms after they appear to actually predicting and preventing disease at a scale we've never seen before. And this fundamentally changes the dynamic, doesn't it? It makes care much more targeted specifically for you, the individual patient.
Absolutely. And that personalization extends right into treatment. Moving from the realm of diagnosis to treatment, we know traditional drug development is notoriously slow, incredibly expensive, and often results in these one-size-fits-all therapies that don't work for everyone.
Right, the blockbuster drug model.
Exactly. AI is fundamentally disrupting that model too.
Okay, let's talk about drug discovery and personalized treatment then. I saw Navarro has an interesting approach to improving clinical trials using something called federated learning. That sounds like it tackles a major data challenge, sharing sensitive patient info.
It does, yeah. Renovaro Inc.'s federated learning AI enables secure, privacy-preserving collaboration across multiple healthcare institutions to predict clinical trial outcomes more accurately.
How does it preserve privacy?
The unique aspect is that the AI models are trained on decentralized data. The sensitive patient information never actually has to leave its original hospital or institution. The model learns locally and only the insights or model updates are shared, not the raw data.
Ah, okay, that's clever.
It enhances prediction accuracy and trial efficiency without sharing that sensitive data directly. This helps overcome those traditional barriers of data privacy concerns and fragmented data silos that have really hampered large-scale analysis in the past. And it positions them well in the biomedical AI market, which, as we mentioned, is estimated at a substantial $20 billion or more.
That's a brilliant way to leverage vast data sets while respecting privacy. What about designing entirely new drugs from scratch? That process usually takes a decade or more, right?
Often longer, yeah.
Yeah.
But AI is changing that too. Isomorphic Labs, which is a spinoff from DeepMind, Google's AI research lab, made headlines in July 2025 news. Their AI-designed drugs are actually entering human trials.
Already. How does AI design a drug?
They use sophisticated AI models to simulate and predict complex protein interactions at a massive scale. This allows them to design novel drug molecules specifically targeted to interact with disease-causing proteins far faster than traditional trial-and-error lab methods. This streamlines the whole preclinical testing phase, significantly enhances the probability of clinical success by picking better candidates early on, and drastically reduces the time to market. A prime example they highlighted is a drug called DSP-0038 for treating psychosis related to Alzheimer's.
Okay.
It's an AI-discovered drug that was fast-tracked from concept to phase I human trials in just 1 year.
1 year. That's revolutionary for drug development. Normally that takes many, many years.
Exactly. It could truly change how we discover treatments for complex diseases like cancer and neurological disorders.
And it's not just specialized AI labs or Western companies. I see global capability centers are also jumping on this AI-driven drug discovery train.
Indeed. Pharmaceutical Global Capability Centers, or GCCs, located in India, are actively leveraging AI to fast-track drug discovery and significantly reduce R&D costs. That was reported in July 2025 news as well.
How much faster?
By employing sophisticated AI models to analyze enormous amounts of genomics data, proteomics data, clinical trial data, they're reporting reductions in early-stage research time by up to 50%. That's a remarkable efficiency gain in a very expensive process.
A 50% reduction is huge. And we're even seeing massive pharmaceutical deals now explicitly featuring AI at their core, which signals its strategic importance at the highest levels.
Absolutely. Look at the Summit Therapeutics and Akeso Inc. deal announced in July 2025 news. It's valued at potentially over $5 billion. And a key component is leveraging AI for their immunotherapy development.
How are they using AI in the deal?
They're using AI specifically to identify biomarker-driven responder populations for their clinical trials. So predicting which patients are most likely to benefit from their next-gen cancer therapies based on specific biological markers. They're also using AI to optimize the actual design of the trials themselves, particularly for complex targets like non-small cell lung cancer.
Okay.
This really reinforces the growing and now critical role of AI in developing complex biologics and bispecific antibodies, these advanced therapies that can target multiple disease pathways at once.
It's crystal clear AI is fundamentally changing how new drugs are discovered and brought to market. But it's not just about creating entirely new drugs. It's also about optimizing existing clinical processes related to treatment, right? Like radiology reporting that takes up a huge chunk of radiologists' day.
Precisely. It's about efficiency, too. Northwestern Medicine provides a great example here. They've developed an in-house generative AI system that actually drafts radiology reports for the radiologists and flags critical findings in real time.
It writes the report.
It drafts it, yes. And what's particularly innovative is that it learns and adapts to the individual radiologist's preferred style, their specific terminology, how they like to structure things.
That's impressive customization.
It is. And the result, they reported it boosted efficiency by up to 40% for some radiologists across their 11 hospitals. That's a huge reduction in time spent on manual entry and paperwork, freeing them up to focus more on interpreting images and patient care.
40% is massive. And personalizing treatment, as you mentioned with the Summit deal, can also mean predicting who will not respond well to a specific drug. That seems just as vital as knowing who will benefit, right? Avoids unnecessary side effects, costs.
That's a key benefit of precision medicine, and AI is enabling it. A new AI test for prostate cancer abiraterone response was announced in May 2025 news. Abiraterone is a common hormone therapy.
Okay.
Yeah.
This AI-powered test analyzes patient data to predict which individuals with advanced prostate cancer will actually respond well to that specific treatment. Its impact is immense. It helps personalize treatment, avoid giving unnecessary therapy, and its side effects and costs to those who won't benefit, and ultimately improves outcomes by making sure the treatment is focused on the patients who truly stand to gain.
That makes so much sense. And the concept of personalized care is even extending beyond the patient themselves,
Hmm.
looking at their support network, specifically caregivers, who often face just immense burdens.
That's a really important and often overlooked area. Orly, which is a UK-based startup, secured about £60,000 in pre-seed funding back in March 2024. They're developing an AI coaching tool specifically for unpaid caregivers.
AI coaching for caregivers.
Yeah.
How does that work? This innovation provides emotional and practical support through AI-based conversations. It aims to directly address the significant mental health challenges and burnout that caregivers often face. It's a critical step in acknowledging and actively supporting the well-being of this vital, yet often underserved, segment of the healthcare ecosystem.
That's fantastic. What about underserved patient populations? Women's health issues, for instance, have historically been under-researched and sometimes dismissed. Is AI helping there?
It is, and that's a really positive development. Silna Health secured $2.7 million in March 2025 news to advance its AI-powered women's health platform.
Okay.
This AI-driven system offers things like symptom analysis and virtual consultations specifically tailored for historically under-researched women's health issues, such as endometriosis or PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome.
Right. Conditions that can take years to diagnose sometimes.
Exactly. The platform aims to promote earlier detection and develop personalized care pathways, expanding access to affordable, gender-focused digital health solutions globally. It's about using AI to address historical gaps in care.
It really sounds like AI is enabling a much more holistic, truly personalized approach to overall well-being, even integrating aspects beyond traditional medical conditions, like nutrition and lifestyle.
It is definitely moving that way.
Mhm.
Superpower acquired a company called Base in April 2025, specifically to enhance its AI doctor app with nutrition data.
An AI doctor app.
Yeah, they're building what they call an AI-driven health super app. The goal is to integrate data from lab tests, medical records, wearables like your fitness tracker to generate personalized recommendations for nutrition, sleep, even hormone optimization.
Wow, all integrated.
All integrated and then reviewed by human care teams. This acquisition specifically accelerates their food as medicine capabilities. They're exploring partnerships with employers to offer wider access to their service, which currently has about a $500 annual membership fee. It's aiming to truly integrate lifestyle factors into personalized health management.
That's comprehensive. And for specific precision medicine approaches, particularly in challenging areas like mental health, which is so deeply individual.
Horus ML, a Spanish startup founded sometime between 2020 and 2025, is doing interesting work here. They specialize in AI-powered solutions for personalized healthcare, looking across diagnostic imaging, medicine, remote monitoring, and specifically mental health.
What kind of mental health tools?
Their innovative tools include things like AI-14-DEP, which aims to identify depressive patterns in adolescents just by analyzing their speech patterns.
From speech, wow.
Yeah. They also have mental health triage, which helps stratify patients based on the severity of their symptoms to prioritize care, and another tool called Horus Predictor, which uses machine learning to estimate things like hospital stay duration or the risk of readmission for mental health patients. It's all about tailoring care and predicting outcomes based on individual data.
Okay, listening to all this, here's where it gets really interesting for our listeners, right? Imagine a future where your treatment plan isn't just for a general condition like diabetes or heart disease, but it's perfectly tailored for you. Based on your unique biology from genomic data, your specific symptoms reported via an app, maybe even your lifestyle tracked by a wearable.
That's the promise.
This is the profound promise of AI in drug discovery and personalized medicine. It leads to more effective treatments, fewer side effects, and much more efficient care, directly impacting your health outcomes.
Absolutely. And beyond the direct clinical diagnosis and treatment, AI is also tackling major systemic issues that frankly plague healthcare systems everywhere. Things like incredibly high administrative costs, really inefficient workflows, and persistent serious staff burnout.
Yeah, the operational side. Let's talk about AI for operational efficiency and patient engagement. Starting with how AI can empower patients maybe in their own homes. UpDoc, for example, has an AI voice assistant for insulin dosing that sounds quite revolutionary for managing chronic diseases like diabetes.
It really is. UpDoc's voice-based AI assistant helps type 2 diabetes patients manage their insulin dosing from home, just using standard smart speaker devices like Alexa or Google Home.
How does it work? They just talk to it.
Yeah. By analyzing the patient's verbal updates on their blood sugar levels, the AI gives real-time, personalized insulin guidance based on their doctor's prescribed parameters.
And does it work?
Well, a 2023 Stanford trial showed some remarkable results. It helped 81% of patients using the assistant achieve their target glucose levels compared to just 25% of patients receiving standard care.
81 versus 25%. That's a huge difference.
Massive difference. This innovation not only boosts adherence to the treatment plan, but offers instant dose recommendations.
Yeah.
And crucially, it lowers the technological barrier, especially for older adults, by leveraging familiar voice interaction instead of complex apps or devices.
That's a huge step towards managing chronic conditions more effectively at home, potentially reducing hospital visits and complications down the line. Now, what about the challenge of integrating all the disparate patient data that exists across different systems? A doctor in the hospital might not see the notes from a primary care visit easily.
That's a huge problem, data silos. Persivia Inc.'s CareSpace platform is tackling this head-on. It's an AI-powered digital health platform designed specifically to unify clinical data from EHRs, claims data from insurance, and even social determinants of health data, all into a single, real-time patient profile.
A single view of the patient.
Exactly. This supports quicker, more data-driven decisions right at the point of care. At its core is their patented AI engine called Soliton, which continuously analyzes this unified data, flags urgent issues automatically, and recommends the next best actions for the care team instantly.
So it's proactive, not just a repository.
It's proactive. It directly tackles those issues of rigid care management tools, siloed data, and purely reactive interventions. And it's not just theoretical. It's already deployed across over 200 hospitals and being used by more than 12,000 clinicians, so it's showing wide adoption and real-world utility.
A truly holistic, real-time view of the patient. That sounds transformative. What about the healthcare workforce itself? Staffing is just a perennial and massive challenge everywhere. Shortages, burnout.
Huge issue. Staff DNA is addressing this with a digital marketplace that matches healthcare professionals with open job roles, using its proprietary AI algorithm, which they call DNIA.
AI for job matching.
Yeah. The system analyzes a candidate's skills, their certifications, their preferences for location or shift type, and combines that with real-time labor market data to recommend the best-fitting job opportunities instantly.
So it's faster and maybe better matches.
That's the goal. It significantly accelerates placement speed and aims to improve satisfaction for both the job seekers and the healthcare employers by automating that very manual matching process. It also provides real-time visibility into labor market trends. They were actually awarded 13 U.S. patents in February 2025, which highlights the level of innovation behind their AI matching approach.
That's a very practical application with potentially huge implications for alleviating staffing shortages and maybe reducing burnout across the system. Now, simplifying the administrative nightmare of medical billing and claims processing, that's got to be a massive pain point, right, for AI.
Oh, absolutely. It's a huge source of cost and frustration. Ensemble Health Partners develop RCM Gen EHR Summarize. RCM stands for Revenue Cycle Management.
Okay.
It's a generative AI system designed to automate claim-related data processing. It scans the electronic health records for relevant diagnoses, procedures, physician notes, extracts the key info, and then drafts claim summary automatically. It can even trigger the next action, like submitting the claim or flagging it for appeal if needed.
So it automates the paperwork for billing.
Essentially, yes. They reported this tool has enabled intelligent automation of around 25% of transactions in certain revenue cycle categories they targeted. That means significantly reducing manual claims processing errors, helping lower high denial rates, and easing the burden and burnout on administrative staff in a traditionally very laborious area.
25% automation is a direct hit on administrative costs and inefficiencies. And what about on the insurance side? Ensuring claims are accurate, reducing that friction between providers and payers.
Yeah, smoothing that process is key. Avalon Healthcare Solutions has their smart claims review system called APEA. It's an AI-powered platform that reviews lab test claims in real time as they're being submitted.
In real time, before payment.
Yes. It integrates seamlessly with health plan systems to instantly verify the medical necessity of the test, check coverage rules, and ensure billing accuracy according to the plan's policies. APA can even support lab decision-making at the point of care, helping providers choose the right covered tests up front to avoid denials and delays.
That prevents problems before they start.
Exactly. It's already deployed across health plan clients covering over 40 million lives. It directly addresses that lack of real-time clinical coverage guidance and aims to drastically reduce administrative costs and that constant payer-provider friction over claims.
It sounds like AI is really trying to tackle the massive paperwork problem in healthcare from multiple angles. I even saw something about helping hospitals discharge patients more quickly. How does AI help with that?
Yeah, that's about optimizing patient flow, which is critical for hospital capacity. The NHS of the UK is piloting AI-driven discharge summaries in some London hospitals, according to August 2025 news.
How does that work?
An AI tool automatically extracts the key information needed for a discharge summary, diagnoses, procedures, medications, follow-up instructions directly from the patient's medical records. It generates a draft summary, which is then reviewed and finalized by a clinician.
Saves the doctor writing it from scratch.
Precisely. This helps hospitals discharge patients more quickly and safely, which frees up much-needed beds and significantly reduces the paperwork burden on doctors who are already stretched thin. It's part of their broader NHS Federated Data Platform initiative, which is all about using data and AI to boost system-wide productivity.
Makes sense. And supply chain management in healthcare. We all saw during the pandemic how complex and vulnerable that can be. Is AI helping there too?
Definitely. That's another area getting attention.
Yeah.
GHX rolled out new AI tools for healthcare supply chains in July 2025 news. These AI capabilities are designed to predict supply needs much more accurately.
Oh, by looking at past orders.
It uses more advanced demand forecasting and trend analysis, looking at patient volumes, procedure types, seasonality, etc. The goal is to minimize inventory shortages, running out of critical supplies, but also reduce wastage from overstocking. It improves logistics planning and ultimately aims to cut operational costs while boosting the resilience of the entire healthcare supply network.
Okay, moving more towards direct patient support again, I'm really intrigued by this idea of AI health coach avatars with memory. That feels very futuristic, but also potentially very personalized.
It does sound a bit sci-fi, doesn't it? Leg UP deployed these AI health coach avatars with memory in July 2025 news. They're designed to support personalized behavioral health and overall well-being.
So you talk to an avatar coach.
Essentially, yes. These avatars deliver AI-driven mental wellness coaching tailored to the individual's progress. And the key part is the memory. They can recall previous interactions and conversations.
So it feels like a continuous relationship.
Exactly. Providing continuity and enhanced personalization over time, they're targeting common issues like stress, burnout, anxiety, with the aim of increasing access to proactive mental health services globally, making support more readily available.
That continuity aspect seems really important for mental health. Now, for a particularly frustrating aspect of healthcare, for many patients fighting insurance denials, it often feels like an impossible battle for individuals.
It can be incredibly daunting. But AI platforms are now emerging to help U.S. patients challenge health insurance denials more effectively. That was reported in July 2025 news.
How can AI help fight a denial?
These platforms automate the analysis of the denial letter and the patient's medical records, identify grounds for appeal based on policy rules and clinical guidelines, and can even help draft and submit the appeal documents.
Wow, that takes a lot of the burden off the patient.
It does. It significantly reduces that administrative burden and aims to improve the odds of getting the denial overturned. It really empowers patients with real-time guidance and dispute tools, trying to level the playing field a bit against large insurance companies.
That's empowering. So AI is empowering patients, and it's also making doctors' lives easier, especially with the explosion in virtual care visits we've seen.
Yes, optimizing telehealth is another focus. AI is being used to prep doctors before virtual urgent care visits, according to July 2025 news. It streamlines the case information and helps predict patient needs.
How does it prep them?
It summarizes the patient's history, their reported symptoms, maybe pulls relevant past results, all before the doctor even joins the virtual call. It might even suggest possible diagnoses or next steps for the doctor to consider.
So the doctor walks in better prepared.
Exactly. It speeds up the triage process, helps with clinical decision-making during the brief virtual visit, and enhances the overall efficiency of virtual care delivery for busy providers.
Makes sense. And for our senior population, thinking specifically about supporting aging in place with dignity and safety.
That's a huge area of focus. LAQ, which is an AI care companion for seniors developed by Intuition Robotics, was highlighted in May 2025 news.
An AI companion, like a robot.
It's more of a tabletop device with a screen and voice interaction. It's designed to help older adults live independently while staying mentally and emotionally engaged.
What does it do?
It proactively initiates daily check-ins, provides medication reminders, suggests activities, and engages in meaningful conversations tailored to the user's interests. The goal is to reduce loneliness and social isolation, while also integrating seamlessly with caregivers through an app, providing them with updates and peace of mind.
That sounds like a wonderful support tool. Now, fragmented healthcare data is a massive problem, especially when you think about cross-border care within regions like Europe. Data just doesn't flow easily.
It really doesn't. Reportaid, which is a Dutch health tech startup, raised $2.2 million in May 2025 news, specifically to tackle this issue of fragmented European healthcare data using AI.
How are they approaching it?
Their platform focuses on generating compliant, structured medical reports from unstructured data sources like doctor's notes or discharge letters. The aim is to enhance efficiency and data standardization across different European hospitals and systems, making it easier to share information and support more seamless cross-border healthcare.
Standardizing the data is key. And clinical scribes automating that tedious note-taking process for doctors during patient consultations, that seems like another big win for efficiency.
Huge win. Heidi Health, an Australia-based startup, secured $16.6 million in March 2025 to advance its AI clinical scribe technology.
So the AI listens and writes the notes.
Essentially, yes. This AI-powered technology automates the note-taking during patient-physician consultations, capturing the conversation and structuring it into a clinical note. This directly reduces the administrative workload, allowing doctors to maintain eye contact and focus more on their patients, less on the keyboard. It's already being deployed across multiple international clinics.
Less screen time, more FaceTime. Doctors must love that. And I saw another wearable AI companion for older adults, maybe similar to EleQ, but even more integrated, like a wristband.
Yeah, Birdie, a London-based digital health startup, unveiled what they're calling the UK's first conversational AI wristband for proactive, real-time care for older adults. That was in February 2025 news.
A wristband you can talk to.
Exactly. Users can talk directly to an AI assistant via the device. It supports things like medication reminders, wellness checks, can detect falls, and has emergency alert capabilities. Like EleQ, it integrates with caregiver platforms. But being a wearable, it offers potentially more continuous monitoring and interaction to support aging in place with dignity and autonomy.
Interesting. What about broader public health initiatives, using AI not just for individual patients, but for population health and maybe more general administrative automation tools for clinicians?
Yes, definitely. On the public health side, Afia Intelligence, a Tanzanian startup, is doing important work. They develop AI-driven predictive analytics platforms for public health systems.
What does that mean in practice?
Their product, Afialytics, integrates data from various sources like supply chain systems, patient records, community health reports to automate data cleaning, visualization, and forecasting. This enables healthcare providers, especially in resource-constrained settings, to better anticipate things like medication supply chain needs or spikes in patient demand for certain services, allowing for more timely, evidence-based decisions.
Using data to manage resources better makes sense. And for individual clinicians, admin burden.
There are more tools emerging there, too. Cavell AI, a Belgian startup, offers an AI-powered co-pilot for medical administration. It captures and transcribes consultations, like the scribes we mentioned, but also generates structured notes, drafts, referral letters, creates summaries, all while trying to adhere to the specific clinician's preferred style.
Does it understand medical terms?
Yes, it extracts standardized medical codes like ICD-10 or SNOMED-CT, and can even translate complex clinical language into more patient-friendly terms for summaries, all while prioritizing data security and GDPR compliance.
That translation feature is neat. And I saw Willora, an Australian startup, is developing a modular AI assistant for clinicians that sounds incredibly comprehensive, covering the whole patient journey.
Yes, well, Laura's approach is quite holistic. They offer a suite of AI-powered clinical assistant tools. They call them things like Patient Assist, Consult Assist, Scribe Assist.
So different tools for different tasks.
Exactly. These modular tools automate various administrative workflows across the full patient care cycle. Things like streamlining initial symptom intake before a visit, helping with triage, automating documentation during the consult, providing clinical decision support based on guidelines, and even handling post-visit communication like follow-up instructions. They're designed to integrate with existing hospital systems to reduce those admin burdens significantly and free up clinicians' time.
Okay, so let's pull this section together. What does all this operational and engagement AI mean for you, our listener?
Well, it means that from your very first contact with a hospital system, maybe scheduling online or talking to a chatbot, right through to managing your chronic conditions at home with a voice assistant or wearable, AI is working tirelessly. It's working behind the scenes and increasingly directly at the front lines to make the entire healthcare experience smoother, significantly less prone to errors like billing mistakes or missed follow-ups, and far more personalized to your individual needs and preferences. The goal is less administrative hassle for everyone and more focus back on the patient and their care.
That sounds like a worthy goal. Now, beyond the immediate clinical setting and operations, AI's reach is extending even further, isn't it? Into broader public health, mental health, and the rapidly expanding field of medical robotics.
Absolutely. Let's start with AI for public health management. How is AI helping on that larger population-wide scale, beyond the specific example you mentioned earlier?
Well, AI is enabling much more sophisticated real-time monitoring of health data, which allows for much swifter responses to emerging public health threats. For example, we mentioned the EPICLIM dataset integrating climate and health data. AI models using this can predict outbreaks of climate-sensitive diseases like dengue or malaria with much greater accuracy and lead time than before.
Getting ahead of the curve.
Exactly. This directly supports proactive interventions like targeted mosquito control before an outbreak peaks and helps optimize the allocation of limited resources, getting them where they're needed most before a crisis hits. And it's becoming mainstream. The World Health Organization has upgraded its Global Health Observatory platform with new AI-powered surveillance tools to track respiratory and infectious diseases globally, enhancing our collective ability to spot and respond to threats much faster.
That's a powerful set of tools for preventing widespread illness and managing public health resources more effectively on a global scale. Now, for mental health, where access to care is often a huge barrier, cost, stigma, availability of professionals, how is AI making a tangible difference there?
AI is making significant inroads in bridging those treatment gaps. We're seeing chatbots and virtual assistants like WISA and Wobot providing immediate, often free or low-cost mental health support. They offer evidence-based techniques like CBT exercises available 24/7.
Basic support, but accessible.
Right. But it's going beyond that too. Startups like Uplift AI are building AI co-therapists like their Astra platform, designed to offer more continuous and interactive therapeutic support between human therapy sessions. And digital therapy applications like No Suffering Serena are delivering structured, AI-powered cognitive behavioral therapy programs, making proven techniques much more accessible and scalable.
Interesting. Can AI help detect mental health issues too?
Potentially, yes. Research is ongoing into how AI can identify early warning signs of mental health issues by analyzing subtle shifts in speech patterns, text messages, or even online behavior, always with ethical considerations paramount, of course. And AI can provide emotional support too, like the InTouch AI companion designed for the elderly to combat loneliness, or even assist human responders in crisis support situations by triaging or providing initial information.
This really expands the definition and accessibility of mental health care beyond traditional clinics. And what about AI-enabled robotics in healthcare? Are we primarily talking about those complex surgical robots, or is the scope much broader now?
Surgical robotics, like the well-known Da Vinci system or newer ones like CMR Surgical's Versius, are definitely a significant and growing area. They enable minimally invasive procedures with enhanced precision, often leading to fewer complications and faster patient recovery times.
Right, the surgeon controls it, but with enhanced capabilities.
Exactly. But AI-enabled robotics in healthcare go far beyond just surgery now. We're seeing robots handling routine tasks within hospitals, like delivering medications or lab samples, or even automating appointment scheduling, which frees up human staff to focus on more complex, human-centric care.
Taking over the fetch and carry tasks.
Precisely. And there are even emotional support robots being developed and deployed, like South Korea's Hyodol robots. These are designed for seniors living alone. They monitor medication adherence, can detect changes in emotional states through interaction, and provide companionship, significantly improving their quality of care and safety. Wow, emotional support robots? What about physical rehab?
That's another big area. AI-powered robotic exoskeletons are assisting patients in rehabilitation after stroke or injury. They provide precisely controlled physical support and give real-time feedback on movement quality, helping patients regain mobility more effectively and efficiently. The whole medical robots market is booming, valued at around $12.8 billion in 2024, and estimated to grow at a robust 16.6% compound annual growth rate through 2034. That shows significant investment and belief in their adoption. Okay, this wider view really raises an important question. Just how far can AI extend its reach beyond the hospital walls to truly transform our daily health and well-being, both for us as individuals and for society on a public health scale?
It's a profound question. Now, let's zoom out even further and look at the big picture, the really significant benefits that are emerging from all this AI activity in healthcare, and also touch on this fascinating, maybe slightly controversial notion of what some researchers are starting to call medical superintelligence.
Okay, let's start with the benefits. One of the biggest promises we keep hearing is unprecedented accuracy. How much of an improvement are we actually seeing in diagnostic accuracy compared to humans? Is it incremental or truly game-changing?
The data emerging is incredibly compelling, suggesting it can be game-changing in specific tasks. AI is proving it can genuinely outperform human capabilities in certain areas. For example, a major study published in the Lancet Digital Health looked at using AI as a second reader in breast cancer screening mammograms.
Okay, so AI plus one human radiologist.
Exactly, compared to the standard practice of 2 human radiologists reading each scan. The researchers found that the AI-assisted approach actually outperformed the double reading by 2 humans. They observed an 8.4% increase in sensitivity.
8% more cancers detected.
Yes, meaning significantly more cancers were identified by the AI, including invasive cancers and larger tumors that the human readers alone might have missed or dismissed. That's a substantial potential clinical impact, catching more cancers earlier.
That's remarkable. And Microsoft has done some really fascinating research recently on AI's diagnostic capabilities.
Yeah.
It really speaks to this superintelligence concept you mentioned, right? Tell us about that.
Yes, Microsoft introduced something truly groundbreaking in, I think it was July 2025, the AI Diagnostic Orchestrator, or MAI-DXO. This platform is different. It isn't just one single AI model trying to make a diagnosis.
Okay, what does it do then?
It actually emulates a virtual panel of expert physicians. It orchestrates multiple different specialized language models, making them collaborate, debate, and reason together to solve highly complex diagnostic cases. Think of it like a virtual grand rounds discussion happening inside the computer.
A panel of AI doctors.
Kind of. It can intelligently ask clarifying follow-up questions, suggest ordering appropriate tests, synthesize the information, deliver a differential diagnosis, run cost checks on the proposed tests, and even verify its own reasoning process before presenting a final conclusion. It's designed to mimic expert clinical reasoning.
That's incredibly sophisticated. And how did this MAI-DXO perform when they tested it against actual human experts?
The results were, frankly, astounding and maybe a little humbling. MAI-DXO achieved an 85.5% accuracy rate on a set of complex diagnostic cases published in the New England Journal of Medicine. These are known to be some of the most diagnostically challenging cases that doctors encounter.
85% accuracy.
And the human doctors.
For comparison, they had a group of 21 experienced physicians, each with 5 to 20 years of clinical experience, tackle the very same challenging cases. Their mean accuracy was just 20%.
20%. So the AI panel was more than 4 times more accurate.
Correct. More than 4 times higher accuracy on these very difficult diagnostic puzzles.
Wow. Okay, so significantly better accuracy. But often, cutting-edge technology, especially complex AI, comes with a higher price tag. Did the Microsoft study look at the cost implications? Did the AI just order tons of expensive tests? That's a great question, and they did look at it. Here's where it gets truly insightful and potentially counterintuitive. Microsoft found that MAI-DXO delivered both that higher diagnostic accuracy and lower overall testing costs compared to the human physicians, or even compared to using individual AI models in isolation.
Lower costs. How?
It seems the orchestrator model was better at selecting only the most relevant and cost-effective tests needed to reach the correct diagnosis, avoiding unnecessary procedures. This directly challenges that common assumption that advanced AI would inevitably lead to overtesting or ballooning healthcare expenditures. Instead, it suggests AI, used intelligently, could actually help reduce unnecessary healthcare costs.
That's huge.
It is, especially given that U.S. health spending is nearing 20% of GDP, and estimates suggest up to a quarter of that might be waste, including unnecessary tests and procedures.
So that's a powerful combination. Superior diagnostic accuracy and demonstrated cost-effectiveness on complex cases. What does this imply, big picture, for the future of medical expertise and how clinicians might operate?
Well, it implies that AI, particularly these orchestrated multi-model systems, can potentially blend both breadth and depth of medical expertise in a way that might exceed what individual physicians can typically achieve, especially across diverse and complex conditions.
Yeah.
This could, down the line, empower patients more for self-management of routine issues, making basic healthcare more accessible. And crucially, it could equip clinicians with incredibly advanced decision support tools for tackling the most complex and diagnostically challenging cases they face.
It's important to stress this is research, right?
Yeah,
Not ready for prime time.
absolutely critical point.
Yeah.
MAIDXO is currently research only. Microsoft themselves emphasize it requires rigorous safety testing, extensive clinical validation in diverse real-world hospital environments, and comprehensive regulatory reviews before it could ever be considered for actual deployment. It's also worth noting that the physicians in the study worked under specific constraints without their usual access to colleagues for consultation, textbooks, or other AI tools, which is important context for that direct comparison. Real-world costs also vary widely.
Got it. But if we connect this back to the bigger picture, it really suggests AI isn't just a tool anymore. It's rapidly evolving into potentially a highly intelligent partner, one that could exceed human performance in specific, complex diagnostic tasks while maybe even, surprisingly, reducing costs. This truly redefines the frontier of what might be possible in medicine.
But with such transformative potential comes the absolute critical need for careful ethical consideration of how this technology is built, validated, and deployed. We need to navigate this emerging landscape very thoughtfully.
Yeah, that power raises huge ethical questions. How do we ensure this technology is developed and used safely, responsibly, and importantly, for everyone's benefit, rather than accidentally making existing health disparities even worse? Let's begin with one of the most fundamental concerns people have: data privacy and security.
That's got to be top of mind for everyone. AI systems, especially in healthcare, rely on these vast data sets containing incredibly sensitive personal health information. What are the main challenges in ensuring robust safeguards against misuse and maintaining compliance with strict regulations like HIPAA in the US or GDPR in Europe?
The challenge is immense, and it requires constant vigilance and innovation in data governance and security protocols. Companies working in this space, like Crescendo.ai, for example, make a point of highlighting their HIPAA-compliant platforms, emphasizing things like end-to-end encryption for all conversations and data storage.
So building security in from the start.
Exactly. This is absolutely crucial for building and maintaining patient trust. Patients need assurance that their sensitive medical data remains secure, protected from unauthorized access or breaches, especially as more AI tools touch more parts of their healthcare journey.
And the risk of bias creeping into AI algorithms is something we hear about a lot, not just in healthcare, but across AI applications. How does that specifically manifest in medicine? And perhaps more importantly, how are companies and researchers trying to address it?
It's a critical challenge, and it often stems directly from the data used to train the AI models. If an AI model is trained predominantly on data from one demographic group, say men of European descent, which has historically been common in medical research, then the resulting AI system might perform poorly or even produce biased, incorrect results when applied to other diverse patient populations.
Which could make health inequities worse.
Precisely. It could unfortunately exacerbate existing healthcare inequities. So the industry is actively working on developing what are often called responsible AI frameworks. These include techniques and processes to proactively detect, measure, and correct biases in data sets and algorithms before deployment, aiming to ensure fair and accurate recommendations and predictions for all patients, regardless of race, gender, ethnicity, or socioeconomic status.
Are there specific examples of this?
Yeah, startups like VarioHealth.ai are developing AI governance platforms designed to ensure compliance, equity, and transparency. They focus on adapting AI deployments to align with local clinical workflows and continuously monitoring for model drift changes in performance over time that could introduce bias. Institutions like the Brookings Institution have also established initiatives like the AI Equity Lab, specifically focused on designing inclusive AI technologies from the ground up, considering fairness from the very beginning.
That proactive approach seems essential. Now, how do we build trust if clinicians and even patients don't understand how the AI arrived at its recommendation or diagnosis? That speaks to the crucial concept of transparency or explainability.
Exactly. That black box problem is a major barrier to trust and adoption. Clinicians, rightly so, need to understand how an AI system makes its decisions to feel confident, trusting its advice, and integrating it effectively into their clinical practice. This is where the field of explainable AI, often shortened XAI, comes in.
Okay, XAI, what does it do?
XAI encompasses a range of techniques and frameworks designed to improve transparency by making the AI's decision-making processes interpretable or understandable to humans. Instead of just getting an answer, the clinician can see the key factors the AI considered, the reasoning steps it took, maybe even its confidence level.
Like showing its work.
Exactly like showing its work. We're seeing major medical centers like the Mayo Clinic actively working on integrating XAI into their radiology department, providing radiologists with transparent insights into how the AI analyzed a medical image. And remember Diagnostics.AI's transparent PCR platform we mentioned earlier. That's another example, allowing clinicians to see exactly how each diagnostic result was derived, which significantly boosts confidence and accountability.
And surely the fundamental principle of patient care, informed consent, must apply just as strongly when AI is involved. Patients need to know and agree to how their data and care are being handled by AI.
Absolutely. Unequivocally. Informed consent remains a cornerstone. It ensures that individuals are fully aware of and explicitly consent to how AI is being used in their healthcare journey, whether that's for assisting with diagnosis, helping plan their treatment, or analyzing their data for research or quality improvement. This is a non-negotiable ethical principle, just as it is for any traditional medical procedure or data use.
So it's clear there's a lot of focus on the ethical development side, but it's not just up to the developers. Regulators have a huge and rapidly evolving role to play in setting the standards and guardrails here. What's happening on the regulatory front?
They do, and the regulatory landscape is definitely playing catch-up, but it is evolving. The FDA in the United States, for example, has taken significant steps to regulate AI and machine learning-based software as a medical device, or SaMD. They've introduced initiatives like the Predetermined Change Control Plan, PCCT, which allows manufacturers to get pre-approval for certain types of AI model updates without needing a full new review each time. And they've outlined good machine learning practices, GMLP, to guide ethical and robust development.
And globally, is there coordination?
There's growing coordination. The World Health Organization announced the establishment of a new WHO Collaborating Center on AI for Health Governance in March 2025. This center's specific mission is to help shape global standards and best practices for the safe and ethical use of AI in healthcare, focusing particularly on things like data governance, algorithm transparency, and ensuring equitable access across borders.
Okay, so the ethical framework is being built, the regulations are evolving. If we look at this from a purely practical perspective now, what are some of the biggest operational hurdles to actually getting these AI tools widely adopted and integrated into daily clinical practice across the board?
Yeah, beyond the crucial ethical considerations, there are significant practical hurdles slowing things down. One of the biggest consistently cited issues is seamlessly integrating these new, often cloud-based AI tools into existing hospital IT infrastructure, particularly older electronic health record EHR systems.
Why is that so hard?
These legacy EHR systems were often not designed with AI integration in mind. They can be complex, proprietary, and lack standardized data formats or APIs needed for smooth interoperability. Making them talk to new AI tools can be incredibly complex technically, time-consuming, and very costly, creating a substantial barrier for many healthcare organizations, especially smaller ones.
So even if the AI technology itself is amazing, just getting it plugged into the hospital system is a major challenge. And then, even if you get it integrated, getting the doctors and nurses to actually use it and trust it must be another hurdle. It represents a huge shift in their established workflows.
That's a crucial point. Physician acceptance and trust are absolutely paramount. Clinicians need to feel confident in the AI's reliability, understand its limitations, and see clear evidence that it genuinely helps them provide better care or makes their jobs easier, rather than just adding another complex tool or potential source of error or alert fatigue.
Right. It needs to solve a problem for them.
Exactly. This requires robust clinical validation, showing clear benefits in diverse real-world settings, not just labs. It also requires effective training and ongoing support to help clinicians incorporate these tools comfortably and effectively into their practice. It's a change management challenge as much as a technological one.
And as a relatively new and incredibly fast-evolving field, I imagine there's probably a lack of fully established, universally agreed-upon standards for developing and validating these AI tools across the industry.
That's true. There is an absence, still, of fully unified development standards and best practices. And there are still significant legal ambiguities around AI accountability that hinder broad adoption. Questions like, Who is legally responsible if an AI contributes to a diagnostic error? The developer, the hospital, the clinician who used it. These need to be clearly addressed through evolving legal frameworks and industry consensus to provide clarity and reduce liability concerns.
That accountability piece is huge. And the financial side of things. You mentioned integration costs, but implementing AI likely involves significant upfront investment beyond just plugging it in.
It definitely can. The high financial burden includes not just the software licenses or subscriptions, but potentially necessary infrastructure upgrades,
Right.
like computing power or network bandwidth, specialized training for clinical and IT staff, and those complex integration processes we discussed. All of this can represent a significant barrier to entry for many healthcare providers, particularly smaller hospitals, community clinics, or those operating in already resource-limited environments.
And then naturally leads to this concern about a digital divide widening in healthcare, doesn't it? Where maybe the big, wealthy academic centers can afford all this AI, but smaller community hospitals get left behind.
Precisely. That is a very real concern. While elite institutions like Duke Health, which has invested heavily in building its own AI infrastructure and development teams, can forge ahead, many community health systems or rural hospitals simply lack the financial resources, technical expertise, or vendor support to implement sophisticated AI tools at the same pace. This leads to potential disparities in AI adoption across the healthcare landscape, and consequently could widen existing gaps in the quality, efficiency, and accessibility of AI-enhanced care available to different patient populations, depending on where they live or seek care. Ensuring equitable access to the benefits of AI is a major challenge.
So pulling all these challenges together, what does this mean for the big picture of AI adoption in healthcare? It sounds like the technology itself is almost the easy part compared to the implementation.
In many ways, yes. The biggest challenge right now isn't necessarily the raw capability of the AI itself, which is advancing at an incredible pace, as we've discussed. It's more about how we effectively, ethically, and equitably integrate this powerful technology into the complex, messy, human-centered world of actual clinical practice. The key is ensuring it truly supports and elevates clinicians and patients, rather than overwhelming them or creating new problems. It's an integration and adoption challenge above all else.
Okay, so despite the challenges, the momentum is undeniable. As we look towards the horizon, the evolution of AI in healthcare feels like it's only just beginning, with rapid advancements expected across the board. What can we expect next?
What can we anticipate in terms of the continued evolution of those AI categories we discussed earlier, descriptive, predictive, prescriptive? Where is that heading?
We can definitely anticipate a continued move up that ladder of sophistication. AI will get even better at descriptive analysis, understanding what happened, much more accurate at predictive analysis, forecasting what will happen like disease progression or treatment response, and increasingly capable in prescriptive AI, recommending the optimal course of action. We'll likely see a gradual move towards more autonomous systems for specific, well-defined tasks, but always with human oversight and intervention capabilities built in. The AI becomes a more proactive partner.
And diagnostics won't just rely on one type of data, like an image or a lab result. It's going to become truly comprehensive, integrating everything, right?
Absolutely. That's a major trend. Future AI will excel at multimodal diagnostics. That means fusing together incredibly diverse data sources, radiology images, genomic sequencing results, digital pathology slides, clinical notes from the EHR, maybe even wearable sensor data, to create a much more holistic and integrated assessment of a patient's health status.
Seeing the whole picture.
Exactly. This comprehensive view will allow for even more precise diagnoses and much earlier interventions because the AI can identify subtle patterns and connections across these disparate data types that a human simply couldn't process all at once.
And those crucial ethical considerations we discussed earlier, things like data privacy and the need for transparency or explainability, XAI, how will those evolve? Will they just become standard practice baked into every system?
That's the goal, and likely the necessity for widespread adoption and trust. Federated learning techniques will likely become much more common, allowing AI models to learn from decentralized data without compromising patient privacy by moving raw data around. And explainable AI, XAI won't be an optional add-on. It will become a standard requirement for most clinical AI applications. Clinicians and regulators will demand the ability to understand why an AI is making a certain recommendation, moving us definitively away from relying on opaque black box algorithms in critical care decisions. Trust requires transparency.
It sounds like AI is also increasingly leaving the confines of the hospital and clinic and moving more into our daily lives, becoming almost a constant health companion or monitor through wearables and apps.
Indeed. That trend is set to accelerate dramatically. AI-powered wearables and remote monitoring systems will offer much more sophisticated and continuous tracking of our well-being. They'll get better at early detection of subtle health issues, maybe picking up changes in heart rhythm, sleep patterns, or even voice biomarkers indicative of illness. And they'll provide more personalized, AI-driven virtual guidance and coaching nudges in real time. Imagine your smartwatch not just tracking your steps, but providing truly personalized health insights and alerts based on your unique data, perhaps even nudging you towards healthier behaviors throughout your day.
Like a personal health guardian on your wrist. And back inside the hospital, specifically in the operating room, real-time AI guidance during surgery must be a complete game changer for precision and safety.
It truly is. We're seeing incredible innovations there. For example, Proprio's Paradigm platform, which received FDA clearance in April 2025, uses AI and computer vision to provide surgeons with real-time, intraoperative measurements and detailed 3D visualizations of the patient's anatomy during complex procedures like spine surgery. And critically, it does this without exposing the surgical team to the additional radiation often required by traditional intraoperative imaging techniques.
Wow, real-time 3D vision without the radiation.
Exactly. This elevates AI from just a preoperative planning tool to an active, real-time participant guiding surgical precision, showing the surgeon things they couldn't otherwise see with that level of detail directly during the operation.
So with all these advancements, diagnostics, treatment, operations, wearables, the consensus still seems to be that AI will primarily function as a co-pilot for clinicians, augmenting their skills rather than replacing them entirely.
That remains the clear consensus among nearly all healthcare leaders, clinicians, and AI experts. The most impactful and widely adopted AI tools in the foreseeable future will be those that support and amplify human expertise, not attempt to supplant it.
Makes sense.
The vision is that clinicians will be able to focus more of their invaluable time and energy on the uniquely human aspects of care. Empathy, building patient rapport, complex ethical reasoning, nuanced clinical judgment, communicating difficult news while AI handles the more routine tasks, the exhaustive data analysis, the pattern recognition, and generating predictive insights. Ultimately, AI should enhance their ability to care for patients more effectively and humanely.
Freeing up humans to be more human. And ultimately, looking globally, these could lead to more equitable healthcare access, couldn't it? Helping to bridge some of the gaps we see between well-resourced and underserved areas.
Exactly. That's one of the most exciting long-term promises. A key focus for development and policy should be AI's potential to truly democratize healthcare by making high-quality diagnostics, expert-level decision support, and personalized treatment guidance more accessible and affordable through mobile apps, telehealth platforms, and lower-cost devices. AI could help bridge existing healthcare gaps, especially in rural or underserved areas globally where specialist knowledge might be scarce or non-existent. The promise is a future where medicine is significantly more precise, vastly more efficient, and truly more patient-centered than ever before. The journey is really just beginning.
It really is. We've covered so much ground today, seeing how AI is already impacting practically everything in healthcare, from the way new drugs are discovered to helping your doctor with their daily tasks like reading scans or writing notes. It can spot diseases faster and more accurately, help suggest treatments tailored just for you, and even give you tools to fight back against insurance denials.
Yeah, the scope is incredible.
It is. But as AI becomes an even more powerful co-pilot in healthcare, potentially achieving superhuman accuracy at lower costs in areas like diagnostics, as we saw with the Microsoft research. Maybe we can leave our listeners with this thought to ponder. What new ethical and human-centered responsibilities emerge for all of us, patients, doctors, developers, policymakers, in actively guiding this profound transformation? How do we ensure that these remarkable benefits we've discussed actually reach everyone who needs them, fairly, safely, and equitably?